This lesson is a quick review of the properties of exponents. So our definitions that we've learned in the past are when you have b to the m raised to the nth power. So b to the m raised to the nth power. This is called the power rule of exponents. So it's called the power rule of exponents. And it's b raised to the m times n. And its name is the power. Sometimes they say power to a power rule. And the next one is when you have the same base and you're multiplying with different exponents, you keep the base. So we're going to keep that base of b and we're adding the exponents. This is called the product rule. And it's the product rule of exponents. And then we have b to the m over b to the n. Again, we've got the same basis. So we're going to keep that base, b, and it's the exponent in the numerator minus the exponent in the denominator. And that's called the quotient rule of exponents. And then this last one, we've got a product. So we've got this product inside the parentheses raised to an exponent. So this is going to be a to the m times b to the m. And that's called the product to power. Product to power rule of exponents. So I'll give you some examples. If we've got, for example, on this first one, if I've got 2 cubed squared, that would be 2, which is 2 to the 6th power, which is going to be 64. If I have 2 cubed times 2 squared, I'm going to keep the base of 2, and I'm going to add the exponents. That would be 2 to the 5th power, which is 32. If I have 2 cubed over 2 squared, I'm going to keep that base of 2, and I'm going to subtract the numerator exponent minus the denominator exponent, and that would be 2 to the 1st power, which is just a 2. And if I had, let's say, 2 times 3 raised to the 2nd power, that would be 2 squared times 3 squared, which would be 4 times 9, which is 36. So we're going to apply those with numbers, but then we're also going to get into variables on the next page. So let's work with the numbers first. 5 squared raised to the 1/2 power. Does that look like rule number 1, 2, 3, or 4? So I've got a base raised to a power raised to another power, a power to a power. These exponents are right next to each other, separated by that parenthesis. That would be the power to power rule. When you have the power to power rule, you're going to multiply the exponents. So that would be 5 raised to the 2 times 1/2. 2 times 1/2 is 1. So that's how we're going to get 5 for that answer. On the next one, we've got 6 raised to the -2 raised to the 1/2. So this 2 is the power to a power. So 6 raised to the -2 times 1/2 power would be 6 to the -1, which would be 1/6. Then I have 16 raised to the 1/4 power raised to the 2nd power. That would be 16 to the 1/4 times 2, which is 16 to the 1/2. And 16 to the 1/2 is the square root of 16, which is 4. So these were all, I should have done these all in red. I'm going to make them all in red because I can do that. So I'm going to make these all in red because they were all really the same type of problem. And then in red over here, I'm going to say that these problems were all power to a power. Now these next ones, you can see that they have the same base, same base, same base. So same base when we're multiplying, that's going to be the product rule. So these right here are the product rule. And the product rule, we keep the base and we add the exponents. 1/2 plus 2/3. 1/2 plus 2/3. I'm going to have to go off to the side here. 1/2 plus 2/3. Well, this needs a 3 and this needs a 2. So that would be all over 6. So that would be 3 plus 4. That's 7/6. 4 raised to the 7/6 power. This next one, you're going to keep the base. And again, we're going to add, I don't know why I have an equal sign in there. 3, keep the base, raised to the 2/5 plus 1/2 power. So 2/5 plus 1/2. This fraction needs a 2, and this fraction needs a 5. So that would be 4 plus 5 over 10, which is 9/10. So that would be 3 raised to the 9/10 power. And we have 2 more that are the quotient rule. So the quotient rule, again, we're going to keep this base, but this time we are subtracting the exponents. So we'll keep 2, 4/3 minus 1/2. So 4/3 minus 1/2. The first fraction needs a 2. The second needs a 3. That's going to be all over 6. So that would be 8 minus 3, which is 5. So that would be 2 raised to the 5/6 power. And this last one, we're going to keep that base of 5. We've got 7/4 minus 2/3. 7/4 minus 2/3. The first fraction needs a 3. The second needs a 4. So that's going to be over 12. 21 minus 8 is 13. 5 raised to the 13/12 power. 5 raised to the 13/12 power. Okay, in the next video, we're going to work with variables.